up, guys? Welcome back to Skunky the Gamer. Ignore this. Today we are going to be changing out some of these fire alarms on my system. This one right here, once I change this one out, this is going to be permanent for until I finish February system testing. But this one right here, this is going to switch to a new fire alarm pull station once I get a fire alarm for my birthday, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So this will right now be the NBG12LX, and this right here will be a NBG12L, an NBG10L. And this one, the NBG10L, will stay. This one, the NBG12LX, will not stay. It's going to be replaced by a pull station, which I'm not going to say. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Go and cue the intro. So guys, we're going to go ahead and start off by opening the panel, shutting off system power, and then taking these off, so then there's absolutely no power running through this entire fire alarm system. Now if we go ahead and pull the fire alarm, it doesn't go off, as you can clearly see and hear. Okay, so now we are going to basically go and reset this pull station, and I'm going to switch the camera to normal, not wide mode. So, yeah. Alright, I've switched this to narrow, and I think it looks pretty good. So, we're going to go ahead and open that, reset that. And now, here's what I'm going to do, guys. So, I'm just going to leave this unlocked, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my tool, so go ahead and give me a second. Okay guys, so the first tool I'm going to need is this Phillips head screwdriver. I'm going to try to find out where my aunt and uncle got this, so then I can put a link in the description for y'all to go buy one. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start by taking out this bottom screw. We're going to loosen this up a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and start taking out the top screw. Oh, mother freak. I'm gonna try to move the light for y'all to see a bit better. Oh, heck. Y'all should be able to see a bit better, I think. So, I will try to zoom it in. But, as I go ahead and loosen this, y'all should really like and subscribe. I'm gonna switch over to my extension piece. That makes it longer, so then y'all can see the camera a bit better, or you can see me. You can see it a bit better. Like, I don't even need that screwdriver anymore. Keep in mind, guys, I don't think these are screws. Yeah, these are definitely screws that you're supposed to put into the wall for wall anchors. So this bottom screw, at first, we don't have to fully take it out. Just because we can just, lift the pull station, just like that. Now, these pull stations are plastic, so they can just hang. But as you can see, we're going to go ahead and unscrew them out of their screw terminals. Oh, flip, I wasn't even... Hopefully y'all can see that, but I'm loosen that up. And then I gotta find where the screw is. I'm going to have to grab a step stool, because this pull station box is significantly higher than the one that's over by my door. As you can see, if we go ahead and lock up the pull station, if we go ahead and lock up the pull station, well, if I can get it locked, it is no longer wired up, and so we can literally just hold it. So, I'll be right back whenever I go ahead and get my other pull station. Alright guys, this is the pull station that we are going to be putting up over here. So notify our NBG10L. I converted it from an LX to an L. But for this one to be installed, we have to go ahead and unscrew this bottom screw. Now for some reason on this pull station, unless y'all know what these two colors mean, there's no polarity. So that's a bit weird. I don't think many pull stations have polarity, but it's still a good idea to try to at least kind of match it up. Hopefully y'all like the new wiring job Also, just in case I do have some pull stations that have polarity, I put black on the negative. I didn't put red on the positive because I just need black on the negative. But if you look into the panel, I'm going to go ahead and connect power to the system. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And so if we come back over here and I touch these two wires together, there's going to be a bit of a delay. But if you look very closely, but we're going to go ahead and disconnect those and turn off the battery. Or just go ahead and disconnect the power. So now if we touch the wires together like that, nothing. Put them on the box, nothing. Never touch wires to a metal box or a box in general. That's just a way to die. I'm gonna make sure these, oh flip, I think I just screwed up the lighting. I'm gonna have to kind of put this wire in right here. You want to have these wires spread out as much as possible between the two screw terminals, just to be on the safe side. Because you don't want these things accidentally touching. For me, it wouldn't be too big of an issue if they did touch, because I'd just set off the system. But you really do not. This is just for any type of wiring. You don't want to have any wires touching each other. Like, even like the tiniest little hair of wire. You really do not want that to be touching each other. Especially if you're like not doing low voltage wiring like this and you're doing high voltage wiring, where you're wiring up like outlets or something like that. Definitely don't want those wires to touch because that'd probably kill you. Oh, heck nah. So as you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and screw these terminals down nice and tight. Now I'm going to make sure I didn't accidentally kill any of the wires in the panel. But now we're going to go ahead and unlock this pull station. And this one's hard because you can't freaking take the cover off. It's not hard putting a BG12 on the wall like this and not taking the cover off. But because you're going to definitely have to, especially if you're flush mounting fire alarms, you're going to have to deal with BG12s not having having the cover on it whenever you're wiring them and installing them. And I guess when you're wiring them, you can definitely take the cover off, but whenever you're mounting them, you can't. Unless they're like on a single gang box that's like, that's not inside of the wall, and that's just outside of the wall, like a flush mount box. The horn strobe is not gonna change at all because I don't have another horn strobe to put in that location, unfortunately. Like, I wish I did, but I don't. Well, I do have a horn, but I don't really want to use that because I haven't had a horn strobe on the system in so long. Well, this is going to be my second system test so far, actually having a horn strobe, and not just having a remote horn and a non-up-to-code remote strobe. Because in the US, if you have a red fire alarm strobe that's not up to code, they always have to be white. So, I don't know why they aren't just red, but I do like the white strobes. So, we went ahead and installed our pull station, and I will probably be testing this stuff off camera, but I'm definitely not testing it on camera. But as you can see, pulls perfectly fine. Definitely doesn't reset perfectly fine. I have no clue why, but oh yeah, cut the key out. Could have been that specific notifier key. Yeah. Like how this lock is stiff. Might see if I can change that out for a better notifier lock. But that is our pull station done. Gonna go ahead and adjust this tripod. This tripod's not even meant to be used as a tripod for a camera. It's actually meant to be used for a green screen, so that's why I can lift it. All the way up here. This is the maximum height. I'm standing across my room and I'm hoping y'all can see me. Y'all might not be able to, but maybe later in the video I'll put the camera at ultra wide see if y'all can see me, because right now it's at narrow, which I think is the low setting. So one cool thing about me getting a standalone, like just standalone, normal BG12 that comes with a hex key, is the fact that now I have a hex key that actually works on this pull station, so I'm not constantly possibly accidentally stripping the screws every time I open this thing. I might turn this brightness down. Looks a bit weird. So let's just double check that the power's off. And it's all the way down. As you can see, you can't push it back up. To be honest, I could have just waited till I opened it, because these kind of pull stations, whenever you open them, the button press ones, you open them, the alarm automatically goes off. Because for some reason, this is an open circuit and this is a closed circuit. So weird. I'm going to go ahead and get my NBG12LX ready for whenever I wire it up. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to this. Even with low voltage wiring, you still probably don't want to touch the bare wires, because I mean, you never know. It's just not the best idea, because you still could be running power, and it could, like, there's a lot of things that could happen touching bare wires. It's just, I highly don't suggest it. Now, you're probably going to see me doing this in this video, doing that, but yeah, just don't. Comment down below any people that watch my videos that are fire alarm enthusiasts or something like that, what your favorite fire alarm pull station is. Because this one uses pigtail wires, so I have this wired a very weird way, where it's like this. So I'm going to probably just do this and pull it, because that keeps it latched a little bit. So now I gotta go. Y'all probably can't see this. I'm gonna try to make it to where you can see this. This is not up to code by any means. You would probably be required to use wire nuts or Wagos. Heck, I don't know if Wagos are up to code. If they weren't up to code, why would they make them? Oh yeah, right here, guys, I had to attach some longer pigtail wires to this pull station, because the original pigtails I accidentally cut way too short after keep wire nutting them to these. Shout out to my grandparents for the Home Depot gift card I got for Christmas, because that's why I was able to get these wires, these things that hold my back boxes in. And I just have some leftover wire for any projects I do, which is really nice. I'm trying to use my leftover blue wire so then I don't completely run out of my new white wire, just in case I ever want to put up a new strobe around the room. Like, if I get a remote strobe, I'm probably going to put up a new strobe somewhere in my room. Heck, possibly in my closet. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my, where did I put those keys? Oh, wait, never mind. So, I'm not going to go looking for the keys yet, but I'm going to put in this bottom screw, because with BG12s, you can actually, like, slide them on the bottom screw, which I think is pretty cool, which makes it a lot easier for wiring. But I'm going to go and look for my keys. They were literally on the table right by where I was. So with this pull station, I'm going to show how to, like, take the cover off. So what you do is you open it up like this and then just lift the cover off like that. Now I'm going to go and move the lighting over here, so then I can come over here in a better area to work on the pull station. So I'm going to go ahead and put the black into negative. These pull stations are very lightweight because they're completely plastic. Well, they're good quality plastic pull stations. They're also really good for beginners. Not the LX models, but now I personally mainly use LX models just because say that I got an addressable panel for Christmas one year. Now I don't choose to get addressable modules, but that's the only ones that my aunt and uncle can get from the security company, I'm pretty sure. But they work just fine, because I either A, have to convert some of them to conventional, like I now have converted my old NBG12LX to conventional, and I converted my Firelight BG12LX to conventional. But I didn't have to convert those, I just thought I would do it. But I ripped out this addressable module, which I don't know why I did, because I have been perfectly bypassing the addressable module by just using the two, I forgot what they were called. Oh, terminals that are farthest away from each other. You can do that to bypass the addressable module. But yeah, which I think is pretty cool, but it's definitely not up to code. Most of the stuff on my fire alarm system is not up to code. So, like, if you're watching my videos and you're trying to make the most up to code system, don't do any of the stuff I do. Well, yeah, I'd say just probably don't. Because most of the things on my fire alarm system definitely ain't up to code. But I just thought I'd change it up just because I was getting bored of the old system. These command strips aren't the best, because I just had a blooper where it fell down, but I think it's because the bottom command strip is a bit misaligned with the one that's actually on the wall for the bottom, so I may realign those just to make it a bit more secure. But I mean, it's on the wall. Just gotta be really careful. But yeah, I mean, it works, I hope. So I'm gonna probably go ahead and test these off camera. Okay guys, I hope you all liked this video on me replacing all these devices. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications down below. And I will see you all in the next video. So until then, peace!